Welcome to Slow News Day Live. My name is Steve Boykin, and I am here in lockdown Boulder Creek, California. Fairly breaking because I've only seen one outlet cover it so far. If you guys have been paying attention to the show at all, I've been covering the Seth Rich case as often as there are new developments. Spent a lot of time last year on the Butowski complaint. If you followed what we were doing with Action for Assange when we went to Washington, D.C., you'll know that we held a candlelight vigil at the location where Seth Rich was assassinated. There's a fantastic picture of it that I should probably try to find during the course of this live stream. But back to the whole point that I went live right now. There had been a stall on the part of the FBI over the last nearly 3 years because they kept telling Ty Clevenger, who's the attorney who's representing Ed Butowski, that they had never taken a look at Seth Rich's computer, which, of course, his laptop was stolen when he was murdered, but there was also a work computer that they were claiming that they had not looked at. And last night, we found out that, as a matter of fact, the FBI had looked at Seth Rich's computer, and the FBI was absolutely lying to Clevenger and 100% full of shit. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this article. Again, it's out of the Gateway Pundit. I don't usually go to them for material, but if they're the only people covering it and they're printing the documentation, then I'm going to go ahead and skip the editorializing and go to the meat of the article. Right off the bat, attorney Ty Clevenger is back in court requesting information related to Seth Rich from the FBI and DOJ. This has been going on for years now, with the government denying any records, even though much evidence is available to the contrary. Yesterday, Clevenger filed his request again, asking for all information related to the Seth Rich case. This was based on recent testimony from former U.S. Attorney Deborah Sines. The highlighted part, which is relevant, Mr. Isikoff stated the FBI had examined Seth Rich's computer. In her March 2020 testimony, Ms. Sines confirmed that her statements about the FBI investigation were true. She further confirmed the FBI had examined Mr. Rich's computer. This is absolutely 100% contrary to the information that the FBI had previously given. I'll go ahead and include a tiny little bit of their editorializing. Gateway Pundit reported in mid-February how attorney Ty Clevenger reported to the courts that despite numerous assurances from the FBI they had no information related to Seth Rich, the FBI had been caught after emails related were identified and provided to Judicial Watch. It looked like the FBI was lying to Clevenger all this time. In response, the DOJ immediately stepped in with a letter to the judge. In this letter, the DOJ claimed the FBI had met its burden and its search would have located emails of investigative significance. Plaintiff has maintained that the FBI did not conduct a reasonable search and seeks discovery. However, the FBI met its burden of showing that its search was adequate and therefore is entitled to summary judgment. Specifically, the FBI searched its central record-keeping system, but did not locate any main file or reference file, which, look, I'm bad at computers, but I'm pretty sure that's bullshit. The searches of the CRS would have located any emails of investigative significance. The DOJ next said that after the Mueller sham, the DOJ said that after all of the numerous amounts of just mountains of bullshit the FBI had presented to the American public. The FBI is entitled to a presumption of good faith. The DOJ then said that the FBI was not investigating Seth Rich's death and has said so, and there is no related case. To highlight that, the email cited by plaintiff confirms as the FBI has stated that the FBI was not investigating Seth Rich's death. Which, look, whether or not the FBI is actively investigating the assassination of Seth Rich is irrelevant in regard to whether or not they're hiding or keeping information out of the discovery in the Butowski complaint. Scroll down just a little bit more to the next red and blue text section, because this is about where we need to be in terms of what happened in the last month or so. In his response, Clevenger showed that the FBI argued that they redacted the emails related to Seth Rich recently found and sent to Judicial Watch because they don't want to disclose investigative or prosecutorial activities. However, Clevenger argued that since the FBI claimed there was no investigation or prosecution related to Seth Rich, how can they redact for this reason when they claim there was no investigation? And by the way, you guys, I'm pretty sure that these documents are available. I'm going to go find the link and put it in the description after the video. There's some stuff about what Strozak and Page, Lisa Page, and what's his name. Okay. In other words, the Seth Rich emails are directly related to the fraudulent Russian collusion investigation, and Mr. Strozak, Ms. Page, and the FBI itself have already shown great willingness to lie and cheat in order to conceal their misconduct during that investigation, even to the point of perpetrating fraud. This is in the brief that Clevenger sent to the DOJ. So the DOJ actually responded to Clevenger's request. Gateway Pundit notes that it's surprising that this guy Donahue from the DOJ replied himself. I can't fucking talk tonight. I'm sorry, guys. So here's where the rubber meets the road. It's now been proven through submitted documentation, and we can go ahead and close out the article here, Josh. By the way, dude, just tons and tons of thanks to Sleepy Josh on the ones and twos running the show. He's been doing a fucking incredible job, and I'm very, very, very appreciative of his work. Here's where it comes down to. Even though Clevenger, representing Butowski, has submitted documented evidence that the FBI did in fact go through his computer and was in fact straight the fuck up lying to him, the judge in this case, after he submitted his request for disclosure from them, denied it without giving reason. What this tells me, and I'm not a legal expert, but I've done cocaine with lawyers before. What this tells me is that Clevenger is going to keep resubmitting and trying to go through different people through the DOJ and different people in the FBI in order to get this out in disclosure. And if he has to take it to another court, if he has to take it to another judge, that's absolutely fine. Because remember, you guys, the Butowski complaint exists in multiple jurisdictions, with multiple different people having been subpoenaed to come and testify. including Ray McGovern, friend of the Free Assange Vigil series, who came and broke the news that he received his subpoena for this complaint on the Free Assange Vigil. Cassandra Fairbanks, another friend of the Free Assange Vigils, who's been subpoenaed to come and testify as a part of this. This is an ongoing ordeal that we're not going to let go. Mostly because it's hard to argue that it really looks like Seth Rich was one of the people who supplied all of the DNC emails and the Podesta emails to WikiLeaks. Julian Assange, if you remember, offered a $20,000 reward for information leading to Seth Rich's murder. Was very vehement in his denial that this was a state actor like Russia that hacked the DNC servers. Bill Binney and Ray McGovern and the rest of Veterans Intelligence Professionals for Sanity have put out a couple of different papers proving that the emails weren't hacked, but rather downloaded from the server and then given to WikiLeaks. Ellen Ratner, who used to work at Fox News, whose brother was one time part of Julian Assange and WikiLeaks legal team. Ellen Ratner has been outed in the complaint by Ed Butowski that she is the go-between and the person who made sure that WikiLeaks got the material that became the DNC emails and the Podesta emails. So this is this is something that we're not going to let go. And every time that a new story like this comes out, I promise that I will go live to let you guys know as much about it as I do and what I can discern out of it. By the way, Rob, you know, I made sure I double checked with Ian the super chat that you gave yesterday that you wanted to go to Annie. It is off and on its way and going to Annie. It's going to the People's Power Assembly, but that's what she requested. Tony watches closely. DNC is a damn criminal organization. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, I had a friend of mine call me today. And he was like, hey, when's the next time you're going to talk to Jared Beck? And I was like, wow, that's really fucking weird because I was just emailing him. The Becks, by the way, Jared and Elizabeth will be joining us on the Free Assange Vigil on Wednesday. I'm really looking forward to that. But he was like, yo, the next time you talk to Jared, will you try and find out what their strategy is going forward with the DNC fraud lawsuit? Because if you remember, March 18th, just a week or so, 12 days ago, was when they had to submit their briefings to the Supreme Court in order to get the fraud lawsuit on the docket there, which they have done. Because, you know, justice doesn't pause for COVID-19, I suppose. I don't know. But anyway, the Becks aren't letting go of this. The DNC fraud lawsuit is still going forward. And my buddy George was like, will you try and find out if one of their strategies is to completely agree with the DNC that they are a private organization and then put it to the judge? What the fuck is a private organization doing in control of at least one half of the public election system? What kind of conflict of interest does that impose? What kind of fucking demons would actually do this and claim to be representative of anyone but that private organization's board and donors? So please look for that Wednesday night. I'm fired up because if you guys are fans of this show, you've seen Jared Beck on here a couple of times. We always have had really good conversations. And I like it when his wife can join the stream too. They did a great interview on Consortium News Live, I think back in January or December. Um, Go and watch that, man. It's incredible. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap. I will be back at about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning Pacific time with Jason Carney. And then hopefully either tomorrow or the following day, um, I will be joined by a gentleman named Caleb Lawrence, who is a local financial investment advisor here, so that we can go through this brand new slush fund that Congress created for Wall Street and the banks that's called the CARES Act, our Rona relief package, because boy, did we get fucked. Turns out that $1,200 check that everybody's getting, that's a loan that we're giving to ourselves that's going to come out of next year's tax return. So I'll go into that in detail. Thank you guys for hanging in and watching the show. I fucking love you all, and I will see you tomorrow. This has been Slow News Day. I'm Steve Poikinen, and good luck to us all.